What is up, guys? Welcome to DPS Podcast, episode 13. I couldn't start this show fast enough because, my co-host, he was threatening me to an inch of my life, telling me that start the show, Forte.
We'll be all running late.
Yeah, but we run it late because of slow-mo, but as usual. But
I was here before the show start was I not?
But you got to tell me about your day. You got to tell me about
everything. I ain't got to tell you all that stuff. We can talk about that now, man.
Well, we talking about it. We can talk about it again, but you know how it is, Slow-Mo. Stuff is privileged, man. You got to share the information. We got to make sure we vet everything that comes through these microphones.
Well, I'm not the one that be saying stuff that shouldn't be said. That's you. So like you the one that we need to get the information vetted. Like, hey, don't say this on air. Hey, probably don't say that ever. Hey, just like that's you. That's your bag. I'm good over here. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know you are, man. But look, first of all, Dark Syed, shout out to you. Replicant, shout out to you. Frosty Wings, PP Cheat, shout out to you. We got White Wolf, we got Mr. Gregor Von Doom, Mr. I'm a slap Forte every chance I get. Anytime he says anything stupid on the podcast, I'm gonna remind him of all his transgressions that happen in DMs. Shout out to you. Shout out to the Ash and Luca. Shout out to the Legion of Scum, #LOS. Shout out to the boy Sir Taz. Yo, Luca, first of all, I wanted to say it in your video, but I didn't because I didn't want to bring attention to the fact that that was some old gameplay that you had up there. I'm looking at the prophecy dungeon. I'm like, is that the prophecy? I said, and I'm like, I see Taz running around. I was like, if I see myself running around this prophecy dungeon, this is probably a month, 2-month old content that she put on her channel. I was like, yo, bro, we ain't ran prophecy in like a month and a half.
See, like this is where I interject and say this is conversation that we don't need to be having on the show right now.
Listen, Slow-Mo. Calm down.
What I'm saying, I'm calm. I'm just saying, get back on topic. We get focused. We can talk about Luca's old footage, like in a private conversation with Luca after the show.
Listen, why are you trying to sound like Barry White right now? Why your voice get all deep?
This is just my voice, man.
No, man, you trying to? Is somebody in the chat that you trying to
What are we
trying
doing?
to impress or something? Your voice is got real.
Did you
low.
announce which episode this is?
I did. I said episode 13, sir. I didn't.
Okay. I gotta make sure that you there's a checklist of things I gotta make sure that you do.
Lord. But, okay. Well, first of all, I appreciate all of the support you guys have been giving to our show, just to our videos in general. Thanks for stopping by. It is Thursday. We're only a couple of weeks away from Christmas. 3 weeks away. We got Cyberpunk he's literally around the corner, and we got a whole bunch of other games coming out. So my homeboy Slow-Mo's here. Needs no real introduction, but we're going to give him one anyways because he just deserves one. So Slow-Mo, what's going on with you? What you've been playing? How has your week been?
My week has been crazy. First, I want to say, for those who don't know, I did get my PlayStation 5 finally. I have been eagerly playing games on PlayStation. The PlayStation 4 games that were basically backwards compatible to PlayStation 5, seeing what the performance differences are, yada yada yada, playing PlayStation 5 games, playing Astro's Playroom, Spider-Man Remastered. I've been doing that when I have the time, but time has been very, very difficult for me. As soon as I get my PlayStation 5, it's like people at work go on vacation, and it's just like I am like Jon Snow bearing down at the Battle of the Bastards. It's entire army coming at you. I'm just like by myself doing all this work. So it's been crazy. I wish I could play my PlayStation more, play my games on PC more. I just don't have the freaking time to. But I've been doing that. I've been playing. I got a review code for Immortals Phoenix Rising. We're going to talk about that a little bit more later on, but I've been kind of going through that. Trying to finish my PlayStation 5 impressions video, which I did finish right before We got started right before we went live, so that should be up tomorrow.
Nice.
As it's I think pretty good. Yeah, that's been about it. That's what about you, man?
Look, man, I am a sucker for just my PlayStation right now. I have barely played my Xbox. I played the other day. Shout out to Taz in the chat. I played with him and we played some Destiny and ran through a raid over there. That's kind of the extent of my Xbox for the last calendar week since we did our last podcast. I started finishing up some of the mop-up trophies on my my playthrough of Astro's Playroom. So I've got to get the platinum in that. And then I started Demon Souls. I got through probably the first hour and a half to 2 hours, and then I realized that okay, this game is not a joke. It's especially for a person that has never played one before, and it seems like it's pretty easy. And then you start running into normal enemies and dying, and then you're like, okay, I can get back to that point. And then you die again. You pick your souls up, and then you die. And then I'm like, I'm not going to die again. So at this point, I'm getting frustrated because I died to the same person again that I shouldn't have died to. And I call myself racing back to that area. And guess what? That's the wrong thing you want to do in Demon Souls, because you literally can die to any enemy in that game on a whim. And I was running up the castle wall, and all of a sudden I got swarmed, and it was a wrap. And then I literally just turned the game off, said, I'll come back to you later. I'm not trying to throw the white flag up for Luca yet. I got to at least see how far I can get through this game on my own, because, Luca, she's like my guiding light. I know if I shoot a flare up, she'll be there, but I don't want to exhaust that resource just yet. But outside of that, I am looking forward to playing Immortals. I do have that picked up as of right now. I picked it up today while I was at the store. Very excited for that. But outside of that, just playing a lot of Destiny, trying to figure out this whole overlay. As you can see, we're on StreamYards. We're not on Discord. It's just trying to figure out the color scheme I want to use. I want to match it up to what we actually have for the logo. So trying to figure
interesting. Forte, so overlay, right? Remember, yes. I recall you telling me, yo, Slow-Mo, I got the overlay for the podcast.
I have the overlay. The overlay's already
right. Hold on. When did you get the overlay?
A month ago.
Okay. When did you say you were going to give me the overlay too? When was that? That was also a month ago.
I'll DM that to you.
Okay. Have I got the overlay? Have I got the overlay yet?
Listen.
Answer the question. Have I got the overlay yet?
No.
How many times I asked you for this overlay?
Because the overlay's not finished.
Dude, you could have gave it to me, and I could have finished it.
No.
I could have. What do you mean no?
No. It's my project. Stop trying to take my stuff away.
Oh my God. Okay, all right. You've reverted to a 5-year-old. That's great. That's great to know.
It did come off like that. I ain't gonna lie.
It came off like that because that's exactly how you said it.
Oh, it came off like that. You're right. I can't. Wow. Damn.
We got Gregor saying you still in the character creator struggling. Oh man.
No, I'm not in the character. Well.
Yes, and Gregor, yes, give it to me to proofread. Because if you type anything in this overlay, it's going to be misspellings all over the place. Whoa. This is what we can do. We can talk about this real quick.
Yes, we can talk about this.
Give me a copy of the overlay.
Okay.
You work what you working with, your vision of it. I'll do something different. Then we can reconvene. Then we
can collab in the middle.
Yeah, and then see what works. Does that sound good to you?
Slomo, I gotta, you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong in what you're saying. I understand where you're coming from.
Okay. Oh, now the way to get this to happen is that you gotta do one thing.
Oh Lord, here we go. What's that?
Give me the overlay. Okay. That I've been asking for a month. That's it. That's what you gotta do, and then we can get the ball rolling.
thought you was gonna ask for something else.
No. I just want you to do something that I know is very difficult for you, which is
Wait a
remembering
minute.
to do things and then
Wait a
actually
minute, man.
doing them. That's
Wait a minute.
I
That's
know
not fair.
I know
It's
it's
not fair.
difficult. I know it's difficult, but we're gonna work on it. You know, you my bro, and we're gonna work on it. Okay.
I mean, yo, man. I mean, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate everything that you're saying. You're absolutely right, and I am absolutely wrong.
See, like that.
I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. Are you about to read between the lines on this and say Forte up to something? Is that what you're about
you
to say?
definitely up to something, but I'm not.
See, I just can't just be just. You're right.
You definitely up to something, but we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. I'm not gonna be stressed too much on it. Let's talk about these games. Let's talk about these topics, man. What's our first topic of the night, man?
So, look, man, everybody I guess we could just jump right into this, because it literally just hit the fan like about 4 or 5 o'clock. Darrah and Casey Hudson then left, man. How do you, they literally left. BioWare has literally lost his identity all over again. It's like before we thought it was a chance. I was listening to Luca's video. Shout out to her. She sounded like she was crying in it. She sounded like she was really hurt that this was going on. And you know what? I'm with her, because me being a fan of Mass Effect and knowing that this definitely affects a game that I am looking forward to, it doesn't sound good now. Granted, we shouldn't be shocked by any of this information. It's been kind of a mass exodus from this company for a while now. This isn't the first. These aren't the first high profile people to leave, and it won't probably be the last. And Slomo, I know you're very, very well. You're even more instaked into this franchise with the games that they have than I am. I only truly care about Mass Effect and a couple of other things, where you're more on the Dragon Age side of it. So, and especially since this directly affects Dragon Age, because they're literally losing their director and stuff. So what do you think about this?
Yo, you see the title? You see my name right now?
I see.
Rest in peace, BioWare. This is the final nail in my eyes. The two people, well, definitely Mark Darrah more than Casey Hudson, but the two people that I had any faith in to actually deliver on good games are gone.
Yeah.
Casey Hudson, for those who don't know who Casey Hudson is, Casey Hudson was the lead director for the Mass Effect trilogy, the best trilogy in gaming, period. If you don't believe that, then you probably, eat your boogers. But it is the best trilogy in gaming. He was the lead director of that. He left in 2014, but he came back. And I feel like he probably came back because he wanted to save this company that he worked in for so long and saw how things had turned after he left. But you can't change your culture when you don't really have the ability to do so. Yes, he was the director over BioWare when he came back, but when EA pulls the strings, when EA tells you what to do and how to do it, you can only do so much. So he's gone. Mark Darrah, who I have felt has been a very underrated developer in BioWare for a long time. Mark Darrah is the only reason why Anthem made it out by launch. The only reason. He has worked on Dragon Age for years. Oh, he was one of the lead directors for Dragon Age Origins, Awakening, Dragon Age 2, Inquisition. This guy has bled Dragon Age. He had to leave Dragon Age, the first development for Dragon Age 4, to save Anthem, which no one can save Anthem, but to at least get the game available and ready for launch. When Anthem launched, he went back to Dragon Age 4 now as the lead director because Mike Laidlaw quit after all the shenanigans that was going on. And his team kept getting pulled away from him. He leaves. Mark Darrah is running the show. And I'm thinking, you know what? If Dragon Age 4 is going to be a good game, at least they got someone who has worked on all the Dragon Age games there running the show. He knows what the development is supposed to look like. He knows how this game is supposed to be developed. Now he's gone too. So, now, when I say rest in peace BioWare, I don't mean that EA is going to close the studio down next month. I mean, that's possible. I don't think it's going to happen. They've moved them into a bigger, newer location in Canada in the past year. They've got Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which is the remaster of the amazing trilogy coming out. They're committed to doing Anthem 2.0. Whether that's going to be good or not, we don't know. Whether people are going to even care or not, we don't know. And they've also still working on Dragon Age 4, which is fairly early in development. So when I say rest in peace BioWare, what I mean is that I have zero faith that outside of Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which they can't mess up really, because
who said they can't?
Well, look, they can't. Look, they don't have to write anything.
I saw Bungie mess up for the best game that's ever released.
What?
I saw Bungie mess up four of the best games that's ever released on a console and try to cobble. 3? Oh yeah, 3. I'm giving them credit for Halo 4, ain't I? Dang, that's messed up. I shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah. But look, yeah. You can mess up a remaster. It's hard because you're really not doing anything but. I'm not saying let me not act like game development's easy. It's not easy.
It's not easy.
But there's a lot. There's work that you don't have to do. You don't have to write anything.
True.
Which is something that current BioWare struggles at. Writing good stories, they struggle at that now. You don't have to create characters or design characters. You don't have to do any of those things anymore. All that stuff's already done. All you gotta do is take what was already created and make it look more modern. Redefine it. Add more pixels to it, new features, all that good stuff. That take what is already a masterpiece and just modernize it a little bit. That's all they had to do. It's not like these games came out like 20 years ago. So I don't think they can screw that up. It's possible. I don't think they can. Now, if it's running that Frostbite engine, we might have some problems. But in regards to Anthem 2.0, in regards to Dragon Age 4, I am very concerned about where those games are in development and where those games are actually going to be any good or not. And I'm just like, I already was at the point where I was like, I have zero confidence in them in developing new games. Now it's below zero. It's -5 right at this point. It's just
wow.
Yeah, man.
It's bad.
It's very bad. Yeah.
I can't. I'm not gonna. Wow. So for me,
I will say this though.
Go ahead.
A lot of the older BioWare veterans, they moved on and started creating. Some of them created their own studios. But the most notable ones from BioWare, like Drew Karpyshyn, who was the lead writer on Mass Effect, he is with a bunch of other BioWare developers. They created a studio called Archetype Entertainment. It'd be really great if Mark Darrah joined them, or some of the other really big developers that they've had over the years join them there, because they're working on something, RPG. It's super early. We're probably not going to see or know anything about it for years, but
probably not.
This is like the core of like the old school BioWare guys that know how to make a good Western RPG. I'm really hoping that they go there, that this shift where BioWare is getting slowly further away from being who they were will allow some of those developers to kind of come up and turn into something great. Like I think about stuff like Interplay. Back in the day, Interplay was known as a developer where you would get a lot of great Western RPGs, and out of the grave of Interplay came Obsidian, came BioWare, came In Exile. So it would be great to see like the people who came up and really cut their teeth in BioWare in their heyday be able to go somewhere else and really show us that they still got it and should provide a hole, I think, in RPGs right now, because we don't have the kind of RPGs right now that we used to have, that they used to create. Like, not at all. So yeah.
Ooh, so there's really nothing to kind of add to this, but just my own emotional state when it came to when I heard about this, because I was at work when I saw it and I was like, oh, okay. And let's just go back to how, in some sense of, I guess, an accomplishment, just go back to Anthem. Like, a lot of these people, not even a lot of people, none of the people that worked on this game for the most part knew what this game truly was until they got to E3 that year, and it was like, yo, is that the game we're making for real?
No. They knew what the game was,
but they didn't. Yeah,
the game changed so many different times over 4 years that by the time they actually showed that trailer that was made by like a small, like a dozen people on the team for Anthem made that trailer. So the rest of them saw it and was like, yo, what game is that?
What game is that?
That game looks lit. What is that?
Right.
That's our game?
That's our game? I didn't know.
Yeah. The original idea that Casey Hudson came up with before he left BioWare the first time for what Anthem was supposed to be, it was supposed to be called Beyond. And it was supposed to be a sci-fi survival game where you would go out with a group of other people and you would try to survive as long as possible against all kinds of monsters, getting loot, bringing it back, making your survivor better. That it was supposed to be a completely different kind of thing that no one had really played yet before, and they were really excited for it. And then Casey left, and they put this dude in charge who just basically should have never been given the kind of title and authority that he had, because he mismanaged it, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
And you couple that with EA forcing them to use the Frostbite engine, to just a whole bunch of other crap, and it's just like it's unfortunate how it turned out, but it just seems like the people who have replaced the people who have left are just nowhere near as talented and or experienced than the previous people were. But my bad. You were speaking.
No. You're good. It just really just comes down to, like, the keyword you used was mismanaging. This is just the next step in it. You know, I think other opportunities may have arisen that, you know, Mark Darrah and Casey Hudson wanted to indulge themselves in, but I also think they kind of got to their wits' end with some of the development issues that's been going on with just BioWare in general. You have I forget the name of the person that left that was talking about how he felt like the magic wasn't there. Luca talked about it in her video, and I can't remember the guy's name that left. What are you about to say?
Excuse me. Was it Drew?
Yes, Drew. What, Drew Carpenter?
Yeah, Drew Carpenter.
Yeah, Carpenter. Yeah. He talked about it. Because I remember when that was a big conversation we had on Scumcast when it first happened, and you know, the fact that he literally came out and said that the more accolades they got, the more successful the company was, or the development house was, the more it felt like the creativity was taken away from them, the more they felt like it became more corporate. And like I said,
I remember that. I remember that interview he was speaking about that. I actually did a video about it some months ago in regards to that. Yeah, he did that interview right after he joined Archetype Entertainment.
Oh my God, here goes Gregor. Forte puts more effort into spelling a word wrong than BioWare puts into their last few games.
Oh man.
Now you giving me too much credit right now. But see, that's the thing that kind of sticks out to me. Like the fact that Casey, when he came back, the fact that they actually got Anthem in a running state, I think was marvelous. It was like, that was I couldn't believe it when I heard all of the stuff behind the scenes and the fact that this game was literally not what everybody thought it was going to be. And they finally cobbled it together to get it to be what it actually was in a running state. I thought that was a great idea. That kind of just added to the allure of what these people were. And then now come to find out, Casey Hudson, I know you wanted to talk about the reason he left the first time, but like you said, to me, Casey leaving isn't really that big of a deal because he's done it once already. Losing Mark Darrah, that's kind of a whole nother. I think that's kind of the part right there where you were talking about. That's where I don't see where this studio goes forward under the leadership that they're saying that they want to put into place. And I have the article up from BioWare and what they basically had to say about it. And when you read this article, it just sounds like they're just okay. They're ushering in and saying, okay, we want to thank them for all of the things that they did. We're wishing them good luck. Pretty much the corporate speak of every corporation when they have people that want to lead the company for whatever name reason that they don't want to put out there. But then they want to boost up the people saying, oh, but Samantha's still going to be running this, and we're going to be doing this, and we're going to be hiring a new GM to do that. And I'm like, yo, first of all, you're in the middle of a crisis situation because none of these games that you have brung out recently have been anywhere up to snuff. Nowhere. It's like people believed in what the name BioWare stood for so long, and now we're in a situation where that has to be a question mark. Luke has been talking about that for a while. It's like you said, one of your favorite franchises is Dragon Age. Same with her. Y'all talk. I love the conversations you guys have, but guess what? Those conversations don't pertain to this BioWare, and it definitely don't pertain to this BioWare going forward because the two mainstays of this company are gone on top of everybody else that's left it over the course of this entire generation. So right now we're just kind of looking at BioWare being a skeleton of its former self. Is just in name in general. That's kind of where this is going to sit at. Now, they did say that these games are still going to be developed for. They said the development for the next Mass Effect, the development for Mass Effect, the Legendary Edition, and all those games are still going to be on track. It's still on schedule. Same thing with Dragon Age as they look for another person that's going to direct the game. So they're kind of reassuring people that these titles and these IPs aren't going to be affected by that. But I'm sorry, they're going to be affected.
They're going to be affected regardless. That's nonsense.
Regardless.
That's nonsense.
That's crazy. Trust me, there have been bigger development houses than BioWare that had dealt with this and still couldn't even figure it out. And the game has suffered for it. So I think it just really just comes down to how do we truly think that this is the killing blow? Like, is it still going to be there in spirit? Is BioWare going to get shuttered or anything? I think as long as they have IPs to release, I think
that's coming eventually.
You think it's going to be so really you think it's going to be like how they did the Dead Space developers? Well,
yeah, I think that is the future that we're looking at for BioWare at some point one day, and it's unfortunate. I hate to say that
at that point.
Well, I mean, like it's very rare you see like a lateral move like that. It's very rare that you see someone buy a studio from someone else, and usually if you do something like that, you don't get the IPs too. So, like, I wouldn't want if I'm like say Activision or Sony or Microsoft, I don't want this current BioWare just a studio.
I want the IP.
I want the IP.
Give me Mass
Effect IP. I want the Dragon Age IP, Jade Empire.
Yeah.
That's what I want. Well, I don't know. I guess they don't own Baldur's Gate, even though they were the first ones to make it, because Baldur's Gate is being made by Baldur's Gate 3 is being made by Larian Studios. But regardless,
Studios, yep.
Regardless, you don't want the studio, because the studio hasn't proven that they have a great culture for cultivating talent and developing games right now. You just want the IPs. And I just don't think that EA is going to pony up the money for that, because what they got right now is a money-making machine. It's those IPs will print money. They can just keep doing remasters on remasters on remasters if they want it. But I think what this really shows is there's something rotten there in that studio, and we don't know it quite yet, but eventually it probably will come out. But no matter how nice a statement Mark Darrah writes and Casey Hudson writes, the the truth of the matter is that the two of you are leaving at the same time.
At the same time.
One of you is the general manager of the entire studio, and the other is the probably most important guy in the studio at this time, making the most important game for your studio at this time, and you're leaving. We're gonna keep it. We gotta keep it 100. It's the same stuff that we said that we didn't like about 343. You know, the revolving door of lead directors, and look at Halo Infinite. Like, this is not a good look. This is not good things. Like, you can't look at this and be like, oh, well, you know what? That game's on schedule. It's all good. It's not that big a deal. I don't know what everyone's all upset about. Name a game where they replaced the director. And technically, this would be the second director, because Mike Laylaw was the initial director for Dragon Age 4 before they had to cancel that version so that that whole entire team would go work on Anthem. So this is technically the second director that is leaving.
How much?
Not just leaving the project, leaving the entire company. When you have the cushy position, not cushy, but the nice position of running your own game, which you say should be where you say goes. And you're developing this game that you're passionate about. This guy's passionate about Dragon Age.
Yeah.
He's been making Dragon Age games since the first one. When you're that passionate about this IP, this world, the world of Thetis, you're that passionate about it, and you go, "Nah, I'm out." The game's not even out yet. I'm good. I can't do this for the next 3 or 4 years. I'm out.
Yeah,
it says a lot.
I think that might have a lot to do. I mean, like I said, we're all spitballing. We don't truly know what the cause of all this was, but it's a good chance it could be the fact that they're just tired. You know, the fact that Anthem has become such a noose around the company, and they say they want to be able to build and fix this game. And I hear that from a lot of people saying, well, we should like really celebrate the fact that BioWare is literally trying to fix this game. You know, they're doing everything they can do to fix this game. But maybe they don't want, maybe at a certain point, they are at a point where it's like, dude, this game is not fixable. Now, of course, they're not going to come out and say that, because they want to have a chance to relaunch this. And plus, EA wants to get back as much money as they possibly can. But this just sounds as a move that they don't have the freedom that they probably thought they should have in moving on from this game.
Ever since they have been purchased by EA,
they never had that freedom.
They've never had that kind of freedom.
Yeah, well, that's why I always go back to Dragon Age 2 and Dragon Age Origins Awakening is probably the last great thing you're going to get from BioWare outside of, you know, the Mass Effect trilogy. And I mean, I know you really liked Inquisition. I didn't play Inquisition, but that's why I think the golden age of what those games were or are at this point are gone, because those were the last time. That was the last time outside of Inquisition that BioWare was free. And once EA came in and scooped them up, that's just kind of how everything has fallen for that company. I mean, you know, Casey Hudson left, he came back, you know, Mark Darrah comes in, saves the day and does what he needs to do. But then sooner or later, all of the things that you don't like about being in a situation where you have no creative control is kind of coming right back at you all over again. Now, every studio is not created equally. We all know that people always ask about, well, how does Respawn, you know, skate around all of this stuff that's going on? Well, Respawn just happens to have one of the most valuable IPs that's on PlayStation's. I mean, not on PlayStation, on their platform when it comes to Apex Legends. That makes
and Respawn has never been put in the kind of position
it
that
never
BioWare has been put in.
Exactly, never.
They have never. They have yet to make a single game that uses the Frostbite engine.
Yep, ever.
Vince, their studio head was just like, no, we ain't doing it.
We ain't doing it.
We're gonna use the engine that we developed for Titanfall, and we're gonna use Unreal, and that's what they've done. And the fact that it's weird that other studios don't have that level of freedom. It's crazy.
But I don't know if any other studio heads are sitting on the board of EA either.
That's also true as well.
I mean, Vince Sapella, when we found out that Vince had a seat at the table, we was like, yo, that has a big part of why they don't. That's why, because Vince literally can make a decision and take it to the board directly.
Mm-hmm. If you don't like a certain imperative that the studio puts on everyone else, you all gotta use Frostbite, and he's just sitting there in the boardroom like, I'm not. Y'all ain't gonna tell me what to do. I'm not.
And then he pulls them out of the Star Wars fire with Jedi Fallen Order, and we already know what kind of hot water EA was in when it came to the Star Wars IP.
Yo, check this out, right? So, Amy Hennig was at EA making a story-driven, third-person perspective Star Wars game.
Yep,
story-driven. They canceled it. Respawn comes out with Jedi Fallen Order. And what's that? A third-person perspective, story-driven Star Wars game.
But they also tell you that is a completely unique game. It was not the game that they were working on so long ago. Kind of makes you think about it.
It makes you think that, like, yo, what does he have on somebody at EA where this guy just gets to do whatever? Now, you would think EA would look at this and be like, maybe we've been doing this wrong this entire time.
Yeah,
because these guys, we let them do whatever they want. They're successful.
That's true.
Jedi Fallen Order is universally praised, and every other time we make a Star Wars game, we get boycotts and petitions, and we got Disney calling us, telling us like, "Can you stop ruining our launches of our?"
Well, you even got people going out saying that they're upset that the game didn't even get Game of the Year considerations because of the launch window that it fell in.
Oh man, Greg in the chat said those Wookiees were unique. All right, man. Let's talk about let's talk about these.
Let's talk about let's talk about those Wookiees though.
Those Wookiees were anorexic. Those Wookiees have been starved. Get cheeseburger steaks. Give them some meat on them, yo. I'm like, yo, what's up with these Wookiees? Like little chicken leg Wookiees out here, man. Like, did the person that the character artist at Respawn, had they ever seen a Star Wars movie before? Have you ever seen a Wookiee before? They don't look like that.
They probably only saw the original trilogy where there was only one Wookiee. So they said, well, Wookiees got to come in different shapes and sizes.
Chewbacca ain't look like that. Okay?
No, he didn't. They tried to literally give you the starved side of Chewbacca. I was like, what's wrong with these Wookiees?
Wookiees was hurting.
Oh man, they was hurting, man. They were straight doing P90X every day. They was out here. It's like, man. How many calories I gotta lose today?
Yeah. Oh man, those Wookiees was eating their food, then running to the bathroom real quick to throw it all up. Oh man.
Yeah, they was doing it, man. But no, man, we exhausted this conversation. I think we both are in agreement that this is it's a bad day for people that are BioWare fans. It just comes to a point where you just kind of gotta say it's over. Now, anything can happen, but I think truly at this point, we're like, yo, outside of the Mass Effect trilogy being re-released in the legendary form, and I mean, I even think in your eyes, you still want to see what Dragon Age 4 is going to be, but I think you don't have any expectations for it at this point. Now it's gonna.
I got zero expectations.
Yeah, it's no expectations for it at this point.
You know what? I almost forgot about this before. They had the audacity to try to release like 43 concept like pictures.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like that's supposed to lessen the blow. Hey, look, here's some real early concept pictures that won't be anywhere near representative of what we're actually going to have in the game. But here, sorry about everyone leaving again. No, that doesn't lessen the blow at all.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like to me when I was reading the press release on it, and I was like, it just seems like they're just trying to ease them out and try to soften the blow by saying, well, yo, we got this, we got that, we got these Jolly Ranchers, how they taste. No, man.
Look, only one screenshot I saw was somewhat interesting. It looks like the character Isabella that was in the pirate that was in Dragon Age 2. It also in briefly in Dragon Age Origins. It looked like she was in the concept art, and there have been rumors, and this kind of goes deep into Dragon Age lore and stuff, that the Dragon Age 4 will take place in Deventer, and she's had a lot of dealings with people from Deventer, as well as the Qunari, which she had a lot of dealings with them. And Qunari's homeland is very close to where Deventer is, so yeah, it would make sense that she would be in this game. But just because you throwing in characters that are really popular with the Dragon Age fan base doesn't mean that you're going to be able to write like great dialogue and really nail the character. So good that they, for me as a fan, I like seeing things like that. Still concerned that this game is going to be a complete train wreck and ruin Dragon Age, but we'll see.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely. So yeah, let's move on to the next topic. Actually, this one comes for the future because Jim Ryan, he does interviews. It seems just as much as Phil Spencer does at this point now. And he was talking. On top of everything else he's been saying, he's talked about how the PS4 community will continue to be supported going forward. Where have we heard this before, Slow-Mo? Remember when PS5 was gonna be like, yo, we try to move as many people over to PS5 as possible. We try to leave this old generation behind and go to the next gen. But your boy Jim Ryan.
We believe in
generations. We believe in all of those things. But guess what? Cross-gen is going to be a natural future for PlayStation going forward, and they're going to be baking that into the development of all of their games going throughout this next generation. Slow-Mo, what does this mean? Does this mean that PlayStation and PS5 and PS4 people are going to be cozying up with each other throughout the rest of this generation?
It looks like a lot of first-party games for PlayStation are also going to be showing up on PlayStation 4. That's the way it looks to me. Don't be surprised if God of War Ragnarok is on PlayStation 4, especially considering, much like Spider-Man Miles Morales, they're coming out with this game not too long after the first game came out. That's not really a lot of time to really show some innovations and really take advantage of the new hardware. They're probably using the same engine, a lot of the same assets. Of course, continuing on the story, especially with the way God of War ended. It's likely going to be, which I'm not complaining about. I'm all in for Ragnarok. Day freaking one, right? But, and the same thing with Miles Morales. I didn't really care that Miles Morales is a shorter experience, blah, blah, blah. The stuff that people say. But regardless of that, you can put that on a PlayStation 4 because you're not really doing things game design wise that are going to be too drastic from what you already did. So, yeah, expect that to be on PlayStation 4. Just expect it. They're going to continue to keep supporting the older hardware, which is fine because it makes sense.
It does.
You got 120 plus people on that platform. Why limit yourself? Why not get those sales? It makes sense to me. Now, for those who were kind of banging that drum about we believe in generations and those guys don't believe in generations and your games are going to be inferior because of it. Well, Oh, I don't know if you guys are speaking that same energy right now, but it. Look, don't take the things that these executives say as gospel. They are salesmen. They are here to sell you things. If
Yeah,
the competition says something that people don't like, they're going to side with you because they want you to like them. They're salespeople. They're
yeah,
not your friends. They're not your buddy. They ain't your daddy. You know, they're not going to tell look, look, we saw this with AMD and NVIDIA. NVIDIA launches their Ampere line, shortages all over the place. Worse than the consoles, right? Everyone's upset, angry. Scalpers then took all the GPUs. They $1,500 for $500 GPUs all over eBay. AMD comes out. That's a shame.
yeah,
That they weren't ready for launch. Apparently, paper
yeah.
launch.
Paper launch.
AMD comes out. They got less inventory than NVIDIA. How? How do you come out your mouth talking trash about your competition? You in even worse shape than they are. But that's what these people do. Because in the moment, they feel like you're a dummy. And they feel like
Yeah,
you're going to forget that they said those things, but you won't forget how we made you feel. We made you feel good when you were mad at our competition. Now,
yeah.
ignore everything we said. Then 2 months later, we're going to do the exact same thing they did. But we want you to keep that same sentiment and look at us differently. Yeah, I mean, if you pay attention, this is what they all do. They all do this. So just, yeah.
Oh man, it's crazy to think about, but overall, just the fact that this is what has come out of his mouth over and over, and people look, man, the man is a wordsmith. He can do whatever he wants. He's the CEO of one of the most popular gaming companies in the world, and the fact that people are going to flock to that platform in droves means he has a license to pretty much deceive every last one of you guys. Because guess what? This is ultimately what's happening. PlayStation 5, they already put the press releases out there saying that we're a success. PS5s are outselling PS4s. We're on pace to do PS4 numbers, surpass PS4 numbers in our first year. We got more PS5s out in the ecosystem than we ever had in PS4 so far this generation. And guess what? We're doing it in the middle of a freaking pandemic. That those words really mean something. So right now they're looking at it like, yo, we can still double dip on both sides, because guess what? PlayStation 5, the hype level has never been higher. So we know people are still going to buy PS5s. It's like the whole bait and switch. Just because I want you to buy a PS5, we're still going to give people the olive branch on the other side and say, but guess what? You don't really need a PS5 because all of these games we're going to support on both sides. And if you want to get a PS5, that's great, because guess what? You already probably want a PS5. Half the freaking free world wants a PS5 right now. So me telling you that these games are going to be supported on multiple platforms going forward really don't matter to you, because all you thinking about is, I need a PlayStation 5. Tapping your arm. I need another shot. I need another shot. That's pretty much what's going on right now. And Jim Ryan knows exactly what he's doing, because guess what? He literally single-handedly helped PlayStation Europe up. He did something that a lot of people didn't think could happen over there, and he made it very, not just successful, very successful. That's why he's sitting as CEO right now of the company, and he's going to try to translate that over to what the rest of the company is going to see on a worldwide scale. That's why you see more PlayStations being pushed to the American borders right off the gate. That's why they say, guess what? We don't care if we're going to alienate all of our European friends and say you're not getting your system to the 19th of November. We know you're going to buy anyways, because you on that juice. You gonna get that system anyway. So guess what? This is all semantics is me. It's just funny because I was never one of those people that sat there and said like, yo, PlayStation, they shouldn't support they shouldn't support both platforms. You know, they need to just be next gen only. I'm like, okay, if that's what you want them to be, that's what they want to be. But don't get mad when all of these companies start telling you what their true colors are once they already got your money. Because anything can be changed once the money's on the table. That's all you are dollar signs to these people. So that's why I always say buy these systems and buy these games when they give you a reason to buy them. Don't just buy them just because, oh, it's the new hot thing. Because that's basically what they're counting on right now. They're saying, yo, PlayStation Plus was free on PS3 until PlayStation came out and literally just threw it out in the middle of the night and said, yo, you got to pay for it. But guess what? People didn't realize it until 4 or 5 hours later. There's like, yo, did PlayStation literally say we got to pay for PlayStation Plus? Did we really hear that? Oh, it's okay, man. But you know what? They really dropped it to Microsoft. Microsoft, this is how you trade games. But who really lost in that regard? Because I will say that a lot of PlayStation players kind of lost in that regard because you ended up having to pay for something that you never had to pay for before, but it got celebrated because of what? A console war. And trust me, these developers, these corporate entities, they love this. They may not support. That's why when I said Phil Spencer saying what he said about the tribalism thing, I do believe as a gamer, he can't stand tribalism. But Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo to an extent.
But he loves when he goes to Mexico and they do the Fan Fest stuff and the XO events, and he got like thousands of people throwing up the X, and they got black and green on, and they're screaming and yelling, and they love it. They got their Xbox Axe spray just spraying all over the place. And
Did you just say Xbox body spray Axe? What about that Destiny Cool Water? That they had to remember because Destiny was a game they couldn't even promote on Xbox, so they came out with the Cool Water promotion. It was Destiny Cool Water. I don't know if you ever seen it, but it was
I've never seen that.
It was a picture of cool. It was like the name of the bottle, perfume bottle or cologne bottle was called Destiny Cool Water. And it was in a blue bottle with the Destiny background and stuff. It was kind of crazy, but that was their way to get around the Destiny marketing because PlayStation didn't allow them to market it at all. But no, so all of these developers and all of these publishers, they just want your money. Just think about that. But ultimately, it really doesn't matter. You know, they're going to do what they want to do anyways. But Slomo, do you have anything else you want to add to that?
No, man. Look, I think we both pretty much in agreement that this isn't a shocker that a guy that had, even before he got into this role, was known to say one thing and then say the opposite. Not too long after that. So it's no shocker here at all. Yeah.
So tying this into PlayStation, this is something I just threw on the end. Remember we were talking about most the games that we talked about the Game Awards, and we were talking about games that have the best ongoing service. And remember, I said Destiny is that game that should win that. And I think what game did you say Slomo should win that? Was it Fortnite?
Okay, what are the nominees again?
Oh man, that's a good question. I think it was Fortnite,
Apex Legends,
Fortnite, Destiny. No
Man's Sky.
Yeah, No Man's Sky was the other one.
I feel like there's one more game.
There was one more.
Valorant? Is Valorant in there?
Yep, Valorant was the other one. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we who did you pick? I picked Destiny, of course, because I'm a stand.
Yeah, of course you are. That's why you're bringing this up. I picked Apex Legends.
So I think all of these games are going to lose. All of these games. And you want to know why?
Wait. How? Someone's got to win.
No. Well, I mean, all of these games. I mean, the ones that we named. I think they're going to lose, and the reason I think they're going to lose is because of this one little thing that a lot of people probably didn't notice. But I think Fortnite is going to run away with this, and they're going to run away with it hard.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because of this one thing right here, Kratos in Fortnite. They have so many they have their hands in so many different genres. They have literally everything covered. They're in the middle of a Marvel season. They're in the middle of a completely new season. They're about to launch a new season not too long. And now we have Kratos, a PlayStation character, going to Fortnite. Now, the question is, are you going to be able to use Kratos on other platforms, or do you only get a chance to use him when you're playing on your PlayStation? Because how the skins for Fortnite usually work, once you unlock it on one platform, you can take it anywhere. You can go on your Nintendo Switch and still play with that character over there. So I wonder if they're going to just lock this skin particularly only to PlayStation, which wouldn't be a bad. I wouldn't be mad at them if they did that. But part of me thinks that this skin can go anywhere you want it to go. So I think at this point, with Epic doing as much stuff as they're doing when it comes to fighting the good fight with Apple, on top of having new seasons, new unlocks, new abilities. They just lowered, 2 months ago, they lowered the price of all their V-Bucks by 25%. Granted, this was fighting against Apple and stuff, but even V-Bucks is a lot cheaper now. So they're supporting this game at a insane rate. What do you think about insane?
Good grief.
Insane rate.
An insane rate.
Insane rate. Okay, what do you think, Slomo?
I think I think you will be able to carry it to other platforms, but you have to purchase it on a PlayStation.
On a PlayStation, yeah.
So I think Sony's fine with that because it's also marketing their character, their IP, God of War, and also if you want it, where there's only one place you can get it. Why not allow someone who purchases it, who buys it on on their PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5, to then be playing with other people on Switch, on Xbox, on PC, Stadia, whatever platform, mobile, right? And then be like, oh man, that's Kratos. Let me go. And then they go into the store to try to find Kratos, and they can't find Kratos. How do you get Kratos? And then they go on Google and they find out you gotta have a PlayStation to do that. And so if they got a PlayStation, I don't think someone's going to go out and buy a PlayStation to get a Kratos skin for Fortnite.
I don't know.
No, I don't see that happening. But
they might go to their friend's house with their account and get it.
But regardless,
all you got to do is take your account, log into anybody's PlayStation with a PlayStation account, and
that's
you can
That's true.
Just buy it.
But regardless, as far as Sony's concerned, we making more money.
That's right.
And so so they're not gonna have a problem with it being
this a Jim Ryan move right here.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I agree with you that it's going to win ongoing game of the year. It should probably win ongoing game of the year every year until it's no longer the hit game of the super casual, because it's the game is dwarfs the competition in that category. Like just dwarfs all those other games in that category. So yeah, it would make sense.
Gregor just brought up a really good point. He said, imagine winning an award for supporting your game, for supporting the game of the year, when your company supposedly had your game pulled from iPhone, one of the biggest player bases. Listen, if Epic pulls, I'm trying to tell people, if Epic pulls this off and wins wins this category, that's insane, because they literally took most of it, because I think they said iPhone was, even though Android is has more of the market share, they say more people play on iOS than anything. So they literally took about 30% of their player base and said, sorry, little Timmy, you can't play because Apple said you can't come outside anymore. Man, this is just nuts, man. But I just thought that was a really interesting thing when I saw it.
I would say that although Gregor has a point, not the problem, but their image is they were able to successfully market this or manipulate the public sentiment to make it seem as if it's Apple's fault. It's all Apple's fault. You can't get Fortnite on your iPhone because of Apple. And oh man, they even gone as far as taking off any games that support our software. They're taking all the games off. What is Apple doing?
Infinity Blade and everything.
When you got your Tim Sweeney out here comparing his plight with Apple to the civil rights movement.
He did do that.
First off, he should be slapped for that. That's one.
He should be.
Two, when you have the audacity to come out your mouth with some nonsense like that, you already know that the people you speaking to are going to buy a hook, line, and sinker. Line, and sinker. So, yes, they got their game yanked off of the iOS store. They did it on purpose. They knew what Apple was going to do in response. They knew it so well that as soon as Apple pulled the game, they had like a 50-page lawsuit all ready to go the very next day. It ain't possible to write a lawsuit up that fast.
Right.
They spent months already like working on that, knowing what the response was going to be. So, it's being epic. But yeah, you're right. This is it's going to win ongoing game. The other ones don't really have a shot.
No. After when I saw this, I was like, yeah, there's no chance in heck anybody else is going to win this category, and it's a shame. But it's just because Epic got so much money, and they could throw their weight around like anything. But all right, keeping it with PlayStation for this one last topic we got on PlayStation before we move over to some other stuff. What did you hear about did you hear about the patent for the dual GPUs that the PlayStation 5 Pro supposedly gonna have? Slomo, tell me, Slomo, did you hear about this?
I did, and this, hearing it like the third or fourth time when you said it, got that kind of reaction out of me where I started laughing. Imagine my reaction when I first heard it. So you're going to tell me that these consoles that typically use mobile CPUs and GPUs, APUs, essentially, they use a SoC, a system on a chip, that they will have dual GPUs now.
We get crossfire, people.
Is this what we're doing now? Is like, it's funny because this reminds me of when people were saying things like, remember when Nintendo had there was a rumor that the Nintendo Switch was coming and it was going to use like AMD's RDNA 2, and it was like, bruh, Nintendo only uses NVIDIA. So what? Right. And then there was that rumor about earlier this year about, or was it last year? I can't remember, about what the PlayStation 5 specs were going to be, and people were saying it was using the Turing architecture for NVIDIA, and it's like, it's AMD, man. Yeah, AMD is they're partnered with AMD. It's just like when people come up with, they make up these rumors and things, and if there's a patent out there for a PS5 Pro, I believe it really is a patent.
I believe there's a patent out there. Because
they're definitely going to make one. Now, do they know for certain what's going to be in it? It's probably going to be RDNA 3 or 4 or whatever, like AMD has a roadmap for when they release their stuff and what they plan on it being roughly, out in the future. So I can see them having some real preliminary talks about stuff like that this early. But bruh, the PlayStation 5 has only been out for like 3 weeks. 3 weeks. People already talking about PS5 Pro. It hasn't even been a month yet. We haven't even seen an MPD yet. We haven't even seen
MPD.
We haven't seen anything yet.
Everybody ain't even got the PS5s yet. People still waiting on pre-orders. People still wait for pre-orders to be delivered.
And we already got people out here talking about PS5 Pro. If y'all don't get up out of here with this foolishness.
Listen, man. This is the first thing I thought of when I saw this article. I was like, first of all, the reading of the article was funny because they said PS5 dual GPUs would spell the death. It would be the death nail to the Xbox Series X. I was like, oh Lord, here we go. We going all the way to fanboyism right here. But then on top of that, they literally come out and they're talking about how this is supposed to be revolutionary and stuff. And I'm like, well, it would be revolutionary for a console. But let's go back to our PC backgrounds that we have, Slomo. You know, we like PC. You know, we enjoy it. Is dual GPUs really a thing on PC anymore? Do even the new graphics cards even support dual GPUs anymore?
You know, I
know the 3080 doesn't. The 3080 and the 3090 does. I think the 3070 does have SLI teeth on it, but I think that's the only one that has it for the 30 series. And I'm not for sure when it comes to the AMD to the Radeon side. But I will tell you, as a person that plays on PC a lot, that SLI is dead. Like no game, like there is not too many games that literally take advantage of it. And then if you do have SLI, half the time it doesn't work properly and you got to disable one of your GPUs anyway. So you telling me that developers that know they got horsepower to spare on console are going to really go out of their way to say, yo, not only are we going to develop for a PlayStation 5, but we're going to develop for a PS5 Pro that's got 2 GPUs inside of it. And we don't even do that for console. Are you serious?
Oh my gosh, man! I tell you, it be some high comedy out here, man. I tell you,
man.
Yeah.
Well, I blame Sony for letting this patent get out there because you know what? Some things shouldn't even be brought up.
and also to be serious for a moment. Sometimes we see patents get leaked. And companies will have an idea.
Well, the controller patent got leaked, and a lot of the stuff we saw with the mic and everything, that stuff ended up being true. So a lot of stuff does come from
a patent can be true and still never see the light of day. Yeah, so that sometimes a company will come up with an idea, but then say, well, the market ain't ready for it, or this isn't going to work for various reasons. We're not going to use it. But that patent is still there. It's still technology that they own. And if things change in the market, they may actually come, well, we got something. We don't have to, R&D this directly from scratch. We already got something kind of working that we can build off of. So all kinds of tech companies have patents all over the place. I know someone I knew from college started working for Northrop Grumman. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you know who they are, but they do a lot of government contract and they work on a lot of different technology. And I remember her telling me when she first got there was technology that they had patents on, that they were prototyping and things they were doing that she was like, you wouldn't believe. They got stuff that they say they won't even consider releasing in the wild for like 10 years.
Right.
And that's not even unique to these tech companies. Microsoft got it like that. Sony got it like that. They all got stuff like that. Oculus, the guy who sold Oculus to Facebook, pretty much technically stole the patent from, I can't remember the other company's name. There was a company he used to work for, but they weren't doing anything with it at the time. But it's still their patent, So it's just, this happens all the time. There's definitely a PS5 Pro out there. Should we care about it? Not at all.
No.
And whatever it is that we think we know about it, it's going to be completely different in the 3 or 4 years. That it's going to be before it finally comes out. So just relax. It's not that big a deal.
Just be happy with your faster frame rates, your higher frame rates, your faster load times, and the attempt to try to get the 4K 60 frames per second, and theorize on how many games are actually going to make it to 120 frames per second. Just be happy with that. Be happy with that fact that you gonna have better games already. We don't need PlayStation. We don't need Pro.
Let's talk about that for a moment. Let's talk about that for a moment.
We can talk about that. Let's talk about all these games that's coming out.
Yeah, how amazing is it that on consoles you have all these options now?
Man,
FOV sliders, like Darkseid just said, FOV sliders that used to be completely unheard of on the console space.
Yeah, Call of Duty. I mean, I heard Master Chief Collection implemented that finally on console. I didn't know they did that.
Freaking 120 frames per second.
Ooh, speak.
Like these high frame rates, I'm telling you, people are going to stop caring about resolution so much. Stop caring about, this is dynamic 4K. It's not real. That's not true 4K. It's not real 4K. It's not native 4K.
Why you sound like that?
Because that's how they sound. That's how they sound. But like they're gonna stop caring about stuff like this because it's not important at all. Great visuals can be had without having native 4K.
Yeah.
Better looking games then native 4K games are running at 1440p with DLSS, with super resolution, whatever AMD wants to call it, with ray tracing, with all these other features, with ultra settings of what you would call ultra settings on PC. And they didn't have to cut the frame rate in half and lower the settings from ultra to medium or low in order to achieve that native 4K status. Okay, big whoop. Your game doesn't look as great though.
Right.
And it runs like trash. Like that kind of stuff is going to be the way of the past. We're starting to see where you, the gamer, have the option. Are you a filmic gamer? You want to play your games at native 4K with all the resolution settings, all the graphical settings turned all the way up, and you don't mind running it at 30 frames per second with an occasional hiccup down to 20. If that's you're getting those options.
Yeah.
But if you're on the completely other side of the spectrum where you don't mind playing a 1080p game, just as long as your frame rate is a rock solid 120 frames per second, you get that option too. Or if you're right in the middle where you're rather, hey, I want my dynamic 4K where it typically stays somewhere in the 1800s or higher with 60 frames per second minimum. Yeah. And all these great features and settings and all this, it's like you have the options now. It's not as nuanced and detailed as it is on PC, but it's there and it's only going to get better. So I see all the stuff that people going crazy about, comparisons and whatnot, and I'm like, I'm looking at like, man, neither one of these games dropped under 60.
That's what I noticed.
I'm like, that's a great accomplishment.
That's great.
And meanwhile, everyone else is like, Xbox Series X, Call of Duty, 120 frames per second, PS5, 100. We got 20 frames over you. Like,
you know what? Have you noticed that PC gamers really don't argue? Excuse me. They don't really argue over the fidelity piece. It's always about the frame rate. It's like you don't buy a graphics card to get better fidelity. You buy it to get better frame rate, but it is always the frame rate first and the fidelity second. Now, you may want to buy a new graphics card so you can push your graphics to the limit so you could have a higher frame rate at that same, fidelity, but it's always about fidelity. It's always about the frame rate first. What is my frame rate at? And shout out to who said it in the chat? Dark said it in the chat. He said, once you go 120 frames per second, it ain't no coming back. I'm telling you, y'all don't understand. I didn't expect them to do this. I was saying all this year, I was like, look, man.
Yo, what's up, Enrique?
What's up, Enrique?
What's up? There's two Enriques. There's Enrique G and Enrique from Basement Radio Arcade Podcast. So what's up to both of y'all?
Oh, what's up, man? Y'all brothers? Yeah. Shout out to you guys. But
yeah, I agree, man.
I said I just think it ultimately just going to come down to what is your preferred measure of playing and just enjoy it, because that's the one thing I was kind of fearing when this generation started, is that the conversation was still not going to be focused on the games itself. Now we're going to be focused on, oh, my 120 frames per second is better than your 120 frames per second, but neither one of these 120 frames per second modes drop below 80 frames per second. Do you realize that? I mean, granted, I think the frame pacing is terrible in games like Devil May Cry, but the frame pacing is all over the place.
It's going to get better.
It's going to get better. But the fact that I don't have to worry about it dropping below 60 is the truth. And I know you've been playing Spider-Man, and I know you said you did try the graphical mode, the 4K.
It was
ray tracing.
Fidelity mode.
It's called Fidelity. I heard you tried it, but then you said you went to the performance mode, and you was like, "Ain't no going back."
There is no going back. I tried it, and I said, you know what? Let me start there. Okay, so I started there, and I just, I'm used to playing games higher than 60 frames per second, so it just felt weird. And I'm playing the game, and I started thinking to myself, like, how did I play it like this on my PlayStation 4? I just don't know. But I got halfway through the first mission where you're taking down Fisk and Fix Tower, and I just said, you know what? Especially in that open lobby area when you first get there, and you're fighting all these enemies, and it was there where I just like, this is really dragging.
So this ain't it.
And I went and you can do it on the fly. I went into the settings, turned on performance mode, and the difference immediately. I was like, oh yes, this is that combat.
And you're not missing a lot.
Deserves a minimum of 60 frames per second. The way Spider-Man moves, the way he flows in his fights, it's just 30 frames can't do it justice. And so I'm performance mode all the way for everything.
I'm with you. I am with you.
The visuals will get there. Like we talk about, you were talking about how on PC, where PC gamers care about the frames more than the visuals. There's no better example of that than when the NVIDIA came out with the RTX 2000 series and showed off ray tracing for the first time. People was like, damn, that looks amazing. That looks almost photorealistic. Wow. I gotta get me some of that.
I know.
And then the reviews came out and it was like, yeah, your frame rates, goodbye. Cut your frame rate in half.
What was I telling y'all before I got one? I was telling y'all every day. Enrique up here telling me that his 2070 was better than my 1080 Ti, and I was like, first of all, you're wrong. My 1080 is still stronger than your 2070,
even without ray tracing.
Even without ray tracing, and on top of that, your graphics card literally takes your frame rate for a living. I ain't dealing with that crap, man. Because that was my whole downside to it. The unfortunate thing is I had to upgrade early because my 1080 Ti happened to take a crap on me. But no, that's why I was not going to upgrade, because I'm like, yo, why would I upgrade?
And you were not alone. Plenty of PC gamers that had GTX 1000 series cards said, nah, I'm good over here. I'm not going to go spend, what was the 2080 Ti was $1,200 for a card that, yes, well, not 2080 Ti doesn't really count because that one was definitely head and shoulders better than anything on the GTX line.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
the 2080 though was not.
What's that?
I'm gonna go spend $800 on a 2080 that is on doing like 3 to 4 frames more than what my 1080 is doing.
I'm good.
But then if I decide to do the ray tracing on the handful of games that actually have ray tracing, I'm down in the 30 to 40 frames per second.
And the game don't even look that much. It looks better, but does it look 30 to 40 frames difference better?
Because ray tracing implementation, it varies. It depends on how they do it. Like you take a game like Shadow of the Tomb Raider, very light ray tracing being used in that game. It's mostly used on the shadows. And you can actually go into the menu, pause the game, especially while, like, say, it's like it's a cutscene that's looking at Laura or something, and then just go in and just start like playing around with the settings. You can see the difference in real time. but is it worth it? No, not really. Like there are very few games that really implemented ray tracing the way Control did or Death Stranding. Those games really put the time and care into it, but then also those games have DLSS 2.0, which that machine learning makes it so that you can actually lower your resolution and then tell it to up-res it essentially to a certain resolution, and the machine learning will fill in the mixing pixels for you. So
Right.
it's awesome. Like it's awesome technology. It's only going to get better. But yeah, like frames over resolution.
All day.
And I think Nvidia has learned that, which is the reason why they have now been marketing the new line of cards, and they're showing with ray tracing and what your frame rates are, because people don't want the new hotness if it's going to hurt their frames. Period.
That's true.
We got Anthony Boyd in the chat had a question. Is there a reason to get a 2060?
No.
Well, hold on. Depends on what you have, Anthony. What kind of GPU do you have?
Yeah,
if you out here rocking a RX 570,
then yeah.
Go ahead and get a 20, especially if you can get it cheap on a used one, cheap on eBay, because you're not finding new ones anymore. They don't. All that stuff has been discontinued. So is
570s? Yeah.
I can't
16,
see. That's really blurred. I can't see that. The 1660s, 5700s. You'll scroll up.
Well, 16s. Yeah, so we got 1660s for 239, 240, RTX 4000. What the heck is that? 5700 XTs for 450.
Yeah,
that's actually not a bad price.
Now, like I would say, like, because some of these GPUs, the prices are inflated, and the reason why those prices,
mining and stuff, right
because of mining right now, crypto mining, because of the shortage in actual stock inventory available, scalpers, all that stuff. So you're seeing the used market really push the prices up, and so even though I actually kind of looked out, I got a 1060 used off of eBay for 120. I needed it because I had to RMA my 2070 Super, and I needed something to use for content creation, playing my games, or whatever. And plus, I'm gonna end up taking this 1060 when I'm done with it, and just put it towards what I'm putting together for my son. So for his first build, we won't put together. So
I would never pay this much money for a 2060.
Yeah, no. Like 480.
No, just get a 30. Get the 3060 at that point.
That's $20 away from the MSRP price for the 2070 Super.
Yeah,
they got 2060 Super for $700. That's the price of the 3080.
Yeah,
the MSRP to 3080. That's crazy. Don't spend your money on those prices. That's ridiculous. Enrique from Basement Radio Arcade says, Slomo, what do you think of the 3060 Ti? I think it does what Nvidia said it would do. It's a $400 card that is slightly faster than a 2080 Super. So it's a budget card, and if you are a budget PC gamer, there's nothing wrong with that. You like to spend what you can spend, or what you only feel comfortable spending on your PC, and will be for that kind of gamer that has a $400 or less GPU that they bought maybe 2 or 3 years ago. That's a massive jump. That's a $400 card that's better than Forte's card right now, slightly faster, and it also has better ray tracing. So yeah, that's a good value. You ain't gonna find one at $400, unfortunately.
As you see, Best Buy sold out.
Best Buy sold out.
Sold out everywhere. All these cards.
Best Buy sold out so fast for that card. And I was kind of looking just to see, because I like to see how the stuff moves. I'm not in the market for that kind of card. That card is barely faster than my 2070 Super. So no, I'm not gonna spend $400 for that. But if you are someone, let's say if you have
I need this to show up so I can buy it at my job. I get a discount on it.
the 3090.
Yeah, we get discounts on them. I definitely want this to show up.
I didn't know you guys sold graphics cards.
Yeah.
I didn't know you guys sold pre-built PCs.
Sure do.
When did y'all start doing this?
We've been doing it for a while.
You probably bought your PC from.
No.
Hold on, wait a minute, wait. Is
No,
that an $8,000 PC?
Yeah, it's got a thread ripper in it. He says that $8,000. Yes, it is.
Who the hell is buying it?
64 gigs of RAM in it too.
64 gigs of
man, that's a content creator right there. Look, it's got a 3970X in it. 8 terabytes of hard drive space. I'm laughing at this 512 M.2.
I was about to say that.
I'm laughing at that 512.
You guys went hardcore premium pricing on everything but the storage.
Ooh-wee.
And what kind of storage is it? What kind of storage is it? I bet you ain't no Samsung in there.
No, it definitely ain't no Samsung. Do they even say? Is it a crucial? Meanwhile, a 500 gig no, they see when they just say solid state drive, they definitely got you.
Oh man, they went budget. Yo, that SSD probably came free with all the other expensive crap they put in that thing. Oh my, look, and then you got a 2080 Ti, and look that price.
Yeah, it's even a 2080. Yeah, right. It's not even a 3080 in it. It's a 2080. That thread ripper though, that's what make the price go, because that thread ripper right there goes for about $4,000. $3,000, I think.
Yeah,
that thread ripper's a beast. I don't even like what is this
the majority of the cost of this
cooler.
But all right, but then price out the rest of the stuff.
Oh, that we'll see.
Because that 2080 Ti ain't worth.
They making a profit, man. We already
they making a massive profit on that. Yeah, I had no idea you guys did pre-builds. Not that I would, but hey, for those who want to get into PC gaming and they don't want to actually
trade in all your consoles, you can get a lot of money off of one of these PCs by trading in all your consoles.
Yeah. All right. What are we talking about, man? We all over the place.
I know we just went down a rabbit hole where we were talking about frame rate and dual GPUs showing up in systems that ain't never gonna happen. Probably that's what we went. So no. So yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, to answer Enrique's question, yes. 3060 Ti looks like a good value for a budget GPU, and if you are a PC gamer who is basically wants to keep make a build that's under $1,000, yeah. If you're trying to build a new PC and you're trying to go all inexpensive but good value parts, yeah, I can see that work for you. He said, "What do you think of the 3070?" I don't like how the 3070's memory is 8 gigs.
I don't like that it's GDDR6 still.
It's GDDR6. That's a huge bottleneck for the 3070. Huge bottleneck. I would not, if I was a premium high-end PC gamer, which I am, but if I am that kind of person, I don't want a 3070 to upgrade to or build a new PC with. But if MSI tells me, hey, we can't fix your GPU, here's a 3070 as a consolation, I'm not gonna complain. I'm not gonna be like, man, take your 3070 and shove it up and give me a 3080. No, I'm not. I'm gonna say thank you for the 3070, and I'm gonna stick with it for 2 years, because honestly, even though it's only 8 gigs of RAM and GDDR6, it's not going to be a true bottleneck for another 2 years.
Yeah,
you're not really going to see that your GPU is limiting the games that you're playing until like 2022. So it's no big deal.
Yeah. Gregor Vandu said he's good with his GT 610. Yeah, Anthony Boyd says, bro, all of that, but yikes on that storage.
Right.
Yeah, that storage was that's the first thing that stood out to me. I was like, look, 6 terabytes, but oh, wait a minute, 512 on the M.2. What? Okay, we good on that. We good on that, y'all. We good on that.
How 520
on an M.2. Did they even say? And did they did? And the rest of that storage was just mass storage on a hard drive. That wasn't even. That's where
probably
they get you.
Cheaper than the SSD.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And we already know how cheap a M.2 500 gig is. You can get those for a dime a dozen at Micro Center for like $60. But yeah, man. So that was a good way to pad the show. But let's move over to our final topic. You know, it's on the thumbnail. A lot of stuff happening with Cyberpunk, especially since the game is releasing in the next week or so. And it looks like a lot of lucky people, courtesy of Best Buy, shout out to them, sent out collector's editions and copies of the game early. They got a chance to get it early. Now, CD Projekt Red did come out in a press release saying that they don't mind if people play the game, but they did say we don't want you to stream it. If you stream it, we're going to send our law enforcement agents after you, and there will be trouble. Basically, they're saying they're going to do DMC takedowns on you if you start streaming this game before the launch date of December 9th. So, Slomo, did you...
You know somebody going to do it.
Somebody going to do it. Somebody going to test it. They're going to test the water.
Test the waters, man. Someone who is desperate for views, some content creator out there is going to stream this game or do something like that. It's going to happen. Now, I completely understand CD Projekt Red putting those kind of rules in place. There's you may have got it early. There are trying times out here, being able to even get stuff out by the launch of the game. I will always say, don't be late with people getting their games. At least be on time or a little early. And so if it's a little early, early Merry Christmas. Congratulations, you got the game already. Now don't be a douche and start spoiling things all over the place. Don't be a dick and stream it trying to boost yourself up with some views and end up getting your entire channel demonetized and all kinds of other stuff happening to you. Don't do it. Don't do it. But someone's going to do it, guaranteed, because there's someone who can't help themselves, and they're going to weigh the positive and negatives. They're going to be like, well, the actual stream will probably get pulled down, but then people would see me, and they will see how cool I am, and they're going to follow me, and then they're going to subscribe to my channel. They're going to do none of that stuff's going to happen, dude. It's a pipe dream, so just don't do it. But
Dark Science says it's already happening. Someone's doing a 24-hour stream.
What? See, people can't help themselves, man.
I don't know, man. Slomo, we all know that you want to grow your channel. If you came across a copy,
like that,
would you stream it?
Nope, I'd play it. I would play it. This is what I would do. If I had an early copy, I would play it. I would try to get as far as I could into it as possible. Hopefully, because I want to play through it 3 times. I want to do all 3 of the origins.
Yeah,
and I would try to get 1 in, and then by the time it comes out, I would drop a review on it. Wherever the review embargo is up, I would drop a review on it.
Okay,
that is the way to not get myself in trouble, but also promote my channel, because not everyone else that isn't, a super big content creator is already going to have the game, or a media source like, the Lords of Gaming.net. Because shout out to Nick Undead. He's reviewing the game right now, and not everyone can get that kind of access. So there's not going to be too many people out there that already have a review out. But I would just, play the game, enjoy it, and then do a review. Streaming and breaking rules that they already have in place, nah, it's just not smart, man.
Mm.
But would you do it?
No. Heck no, I'm good. Let's see, CD Projekt Red go give me a piece of paper that says, "Yo, bro, we'll let you stream this game if you want early. Here's an early review copy. Here's a code that's gonna unlock it for you early. Here's some terms and conditions of how we want you, the things you can and can't talk about in your gameplay, and how far you can go in your gameplay and streaming." And that's pretty much the gist of how far I will go with it. But the fact that they put out that press release telling people that we will send the authorities of the game after you is kind of funny. If you want to hear a very good reading of how a lawyer's point of view of what's going to happen to people if they do this, go check out Hogue Law. He did a video on it talking about this whole entire subject. He's very knowledgeable, and it was very entertaining just listening to him talk about how CD Projekt Red tries to be very coy. You know, they try to have a sense of humor when they talk about this stuff. And it could kind of be taken to, you know, as that's how they're coming off as like, yo, we really, you know, we don't want you showing it, but, you know, it's 2020. So, you know, tomorrow might not be promised to you and all this other stuff. So it kind of can be read in any direction that you want to, but ultimately I just wouldn't do it. It's not worth your channel. It's not worth whatever legal actions that they decide to take against you, because you got to remember, just because you own the game does not mean you own a license to do whatever you want with that game when it comes to promoting it on a channel that you make money on.
Big facts. So
that's where it ultimately comes down to for me. But
and for everyone else, even if you're not a content creator, because I'm pretty sure the vast majority of people listening to us right now and will be listening to us after this podcast is over are not content creators.
Right.
If you get it early, congratulations. Don't spoil the game. Don't spoil the game.
I already muted everything Cyberpunk on Twitter, so
yeah.
As soon as I started seeing blue and green boxes out there with yellow markings on them, and it said, you know, hold to this date, I was like, oh yeah, I know what that is. It's called mute police, and I muted so many Cyberpunk words, even Johnny Silverstone. I even muted him just because, you know, who knows, he might die or something in the game, and I don't want to hear that. But it's a lot of stuff that could happen. But yo, man, so we always try to open it up to questions at the end of the show, but there is one question I do want to ask you, Slow-Mo, and this is on some real life stuff.
Okay.
Some real life stuff. So we know we got the T virus running around out here. You know, it's running rampant. You know, Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine, they don't know what to do with it, man. They don't know what is going to happen in the future. But all we do know is there is supposedly a vaccine that's been released in the UK. It's been released in the UK, but the FDA has said that by December 10th, by emergency actions, there's a chance that this could get approved by emergency by December 10th. My question for you, sir, is: are you the guinea pig, or are you the wolf that's going to be like, I'm not doing nothing to jeopardize my life? Which one are you, Slow-Mo?
I am the guy that goes, that is great. They have a vaccine out. You let me know how that is. You tell me how this works out for you. And if you're still alive by January, I'm gonna go out and get myself vaccinated.
Oh my god!
Oh man, maybe I'm misreading this. That I think Darkseid said his boss died from COVID-19. That's terrible, man.
That's terrible.
I'm sorry to hear that, man. And you know, it's sad because it's like, I think the CDC updated something that said they estimate that the number of dead in the United States will reach beyond 450,000 by the end of the winter, due to, you know, the cold, the lowering of people's immune systems when they're cold, and just the general lack of concern that some people have with wearing a mask, washing their hands, washing their ass, you know, wash your butt, people. Come on. And wash everything, you know, and having hand sanitizer when you can't get to wash your hands and things like that. Just being careful. And there are people who are sick of doing it. There are people who never believed it was what they were saying it was. It's a big conspiracy. It's a conspiracy.
Well, people in their dying breath saying that they thought it was a conspiracy when they've, came victim to it, and before they passed away said that it was a hoax. And it's like, it's real though. It's real. And shout out to you, Dark. This is all jokes and stuff to us, but that's something hard to actually, have to go through, especially with somebody that and you were probably close to. The biggest thing is, like, I think depending on your situation and where you are, this might be a recourse for a lot of people to just say, you know what, I'm just going to do it. For me, there's no way unless I already have nothing to lose, because I already have it. And it's like a last ditch chance for me to for me to basically save myself. But just to, inject myself with something in the hopes of it, curing me. No.
Yeah, no. And something Anthony said is a good point. What's up, Blade X? How you doing? Anthony just said, pretty sure only the elderly and the healthcare workers are first. And my wife is a healthcare worker, so
what's up, Blade?
She doesn't have a choice. Like every year, my wife has to take the flu shot, and she don't want to because she gets sick every single time.
Yeah, because they give you the flu.
Yeah. It's supposed to be a weak version of it, so your body can develop antibodies to keep you from getting sick. She just gets sick every single year, but she has no choice. She has to take it because it's part of her job to work at the hospital. She has to take the flu shot. So more than likely, when that vaccine gets approved, she's going to have to take the vaccine. So I'm going to see it firsthand. What happens to you. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't approve it if it wasn't effective. It's not like the guinea pigs there already been guinea pigs that have been tested.
Yeah, there's been people that they gave $20,000-$35,000 to and said, take care of my family if this don't work. There's been that. That's already.
Enrique says the science behind the vaccine is very strong, right? So it's I'm fairly certain it's going to work fine, and I'll see it firsthand with my wife. She gets it, and 2 weeks afterwards, if she's we got to take her to the emergency room or whatever. I doubt that will be the case. I think she's just going to be just fine, and I'll kind of hope maybe families of haircut workers would be like next in line, like phase 2 or something, because then I can just jump right on in, and then once I'm vaccinated, we're hopefully all set to go. But
I don't know, man. It's just hearing that just puts it more into perspective that, yo, bro, this whole year has been COVID. Whole year. It's like we started this year in one country and we're going to end it in this country, and who knows, it may permeate throughout the rest of going into next year. Well, we know it's going to go into next year, but
that's a given.
Yeah, it's a given, but we don't know how deep it's going to go into the point where life itself could kind of get back to some type of normalcy, which honestly I don't think we're ever going to get back to, because I think so many things have been affected by it that a lot of the comfort.
You think this is the new normal?
No, I don't think wearing masks every day is the new normal, but I do think the level of familiarity we had with being around people on a consistent basis and stuff like that. Do I see a future where we could have 100,000 people in a packed stadium again? Maybe in 3 or 4 years. No time soon, though. I don't see that being
the biggest impact to permanent changes will be things like working from home.
Yes, I think that's definitely a permanent change.
Yeah, I mean, I've always had the ability to work from home, but not like permanently or anything. It was more like, hey, if I got something going on,
that's
with the family,
a hireable job now.
Yeah, but like a lot of big companies have gone to permanently. They realize what a lot of people already knew, which was just because I'm not in the office doesn't mean I'm not being productive. Like it's this old school approach to business or the corporate life where they think that, oh, I gotta see you. I gotta see that you're in the office and you're working to make sure to know that you're working. And it's just like, well, dude, you ain't working. Right. So what are you talking about? Like
watching me all the time, so you ain't doing nothing.
There are absolutely going to be people who will work from home and not get anything done. And those people are the same people in the office on Google all day, on Twitter all day, not doing any work. They do this. It's the same guy. So you know who that person is. Get rid of that person. Then you'll be fine. So the people who really could use working from home, giving them a little bit more flexibility, they get their job done. And when they get their job done, maybe they go watch TV for a little while. Maybe they go play their Xbox or PlayStation for a while.
Maybe they go do a Destiny strike or do the raid into the division. You never know.
But so freaking what? They're at home and they got their work done. They get their work done or they're responsive. That's all that matters. Look, Microsoft has gone to it. A number of big time tech companies have gone to it. If I would love to work from home permanently, but I configure a lot of routers and switches and PDUs, and more than likely my company's not going to ship that stuff to my house, nor would I want them to.
Right. I don't think you would want them to.
No. So I don't mind having to drive into the office every now and then, connect all the equipment up, get to setting things up, get it put back in the box, get it ready to get shipped out or whatever we do with it, get it ready to be installed in a rack and put into our networks and stuff like that. I don't mind that, not at all. But if I'm not doing that, and everything that I'm touching and doing can be done through a VPN at the comfort of my office, where I could be in my office with some sweatpants on and a dingy t-shirt. Well, all right. I will choose that over having to sit in traffic for 2 hours.
Yeah, shout out to the doc. He said, in my line of work, I can't do it from home. Archaeology is at its best in the field.
Look, that's pretty cool, actually.
I was about to ask, what's the oldest thing you found? I mean, if you're in that type of field where you're digging up stuff and examining things, I that's really interesting because that's the one thing I like about just talking to different people, because you kind of get an insight of a lot of different things. Like I went to school for marine biology and I was on an oil rig for 2 weeks, because what people don't realize is before they start drilling in certain locations and they put oil rigs in areas, they have like marine biologists go down and survey ground layers and stuff to basically see like the most conducive spots to drill in where they won't have like an impact on the natural habitats of the area, and then they just have them out there for like natural sea life that's in that area to see if it will be impacted in that area and region. So it goes like really deep, and I got a chance to go on a broad trip when I was in college, and that's when people ask, like, when I used to have my name as Nautical on all these different platforms, it was because of that. I wanted something to tie myself back to what I went to school for, which was marine biology, which is Nautica, because it's a water term, and I really like that. So shout out to Dark with the super chat, $5 euro for Slomo, still waiting for his channel to do better. Nice, man. Always. Shout out to you. Wait. Why are we throwing straight at Slomo channel?
Man? I mean, it hurts, man. I mean, like,
for his channel to do better. What's good? What? Okay, what would you consider?
But Dark, tell me. This is a good opportunity for feedback. Dark, tell me what I need to do to make my channel better. You give me a little feedback. I'll see if it's something I'm willing to implement. In order to make the channel better, because apparently it's subpar for as far as Dark is concerned.
Yeah. So shout out to you, man. First of all, I truly appreciate that. And that's a really good question. What do you guys want from our channels? We're not like, the rest of these YouTube channels where we have like a clear direction in what we want to do. You guys know I like to play Destiny. I'll throw Destiny stuff up on the channel every once in a while. I do talk about the Xbox stuff from here to there when it comes up to stuff that I want to talk about. But what is the stuff that you guys really want to see from us on our channels and stuff? That's something that I think will be very beneficial to just us as content creators, because you guys are the core of the core. You know, you support both of our channels as much as anybody else does, and we definitely value that information. So first, I guess that's the first thing I'll open it up to when it comes to Q&A for the next 10 minutes with you guys. What would you like from our channels? And on top of that, what other questions do you guys have that, you know, you wanted to ask while we're still here? I know what I want to see from Slomo on his channel. Just,
do not say bug snacks.
No, I do want to see that. I think everybody wants to see that. Dark says.
We also don't want to see what Enrique said. We don't see that.
Oh, wait, so X Blade says he wants to see a PS5 giveaway. Look, man, you get let's put it this way. I will give a PS5 away. I have no problem with giving a PS5 away. That might be the 5,000 sub. When I get the 5,000 subs, I'm halfway there. I'm at almost 2,500. If I get the 5,000 subs, I'll give away a PS5 away.
I get what Dark is saying. He said, you said yesterday on Brad that if someone gave a super chat to Slomo, that you would give me the money because my channel isn't monetized.
Oh, I did say that, didn't I? Okay, I will. I'll send that money to Slomo then.
Cool. Thank you, Dark. Thank you. You know, I took that so hard initially. I was like, initially it looked like, here's $5. Tell that bastard Slomo to make some better content. That was the way I initially took it. It was just like my heart was like,
wait. So I don't deserve no money either, Dark. just slow. You know, we're only here to see. Now you went from feeling bad about yourself to me feeling bad. Like, wait a minute, hold up.
He's like, here's $5, not for you, for
not
him.
For you.
You give that to him, okay?
Give that to him. So here's
the funny thing, right? YouTube takes some of that. So you giving me $5, you actually will be losing money.
Oh my god! You know, when I meant to say that when I said that, so I am not giving him all because I'm not giving him the money that YouTube is taking from me. So just to let you know, YouTube takes 30% of that. So whatever 30% of that 5 is that that's where Slomo's gonna get because I ain't losing money.
You gonna give me like
$2, like $3.20. Yep, you right. That's what you gonna get.
Wow. Well, you know what? Just add it as like some added microtransactions onto the Cyberpunk game that you owe me.
Yeah, it's going to Cyberpunk anyway, so it don't matter. So like I said, X-Blade, I will tell you guys this. I get the 5,000 subs. By that time, I will when I hit 5,000 subs, I'll give a PS5 away on my channel. I say it right now on here. 5,000 subs, I'll give a PS5 away.
Gregor says Slomo needs to stream his first time going through the new Destiny raid. You know what? I would actually need to install Destiny on any of the platforms I play in order to do that. Playing Destiny, stream myself doing a raid. It's something to consider. I'll think about it. Taz said, y'all really going over the books for $5?
Yes, we are. We're going over the books, baby. We got to go.
All right, let's carry the two. All right. So this $5. After YouTube take their cut, you get $3.68. So that's you. $3.68.
So basically, Arcade Podcast says he wants to see Forte with his shirt off on the stream again. Sir, I think you're the only one that wants to see that. Anthony Boy said, just keep it 100, man. I appreciate that, man. We always gonna keep it 100 over on.
That's a given.
On our channel, man, we don't backtrack on stuff like that. We may fight each other. We may forget things that we say. Sometimes we'll misspell and misquote things, but guess what? We always gonna keep it 100.
Sometimes. I'm just saying, one of us.
Okay, listen. You forget things like you sleep all the time. So let's be for real.
Well, I mean, I barely sleep, man. So that is a real issue. Now, otherwise,
you on your game.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not misspelling stuff. I'm not mispronouncing everything under the sun.
Sleep deprivation doesn't kick in every once in a while for you. You just misspell something.
No.
Okay, I got you. I'll give you. I mean, I haven't seen it yet, so I can't hold you to task for it. Shout out to Taz saying, "Let me know when we raiding this weekend." Yo, bro, you already know you're gonna get that invite as soon as we get there. Blade X says, "Bug snacks, fire." We already know that's meant for SlomoBackSlap and not me. Tony Montana, what's up, Tony? He says he wants to see that clickbait. Slomo, you know what? That's one thing we don't do. We really haven't dove into the arena of clickbait for our titles on our videos and stuff.
Well, shoot, I might look. I have my first impressions of the PlayStation 5 video coming out in the morning. It's already uploaded to YouTube. I just gotta do the thumbnail and stuff. Y'all want some clickbait? I'll get you some clickbait tomorrow. I'm gonna have the thumbnail is gonna be a PS5 on fire.
Oh Lord, you got the fire extinguisher out and everything.
I'm gonna be like, look at this dog. No, let me stop.
He gonna have his kid hovering over the PlayStation every 2 seconds. Is it gonna catch fire today?
No, but that'll be a great experiment. Like have a thumbnail that doesn't represent at all what your video says, and see how many people in the comments cuss you out. Because if I have a thumbnail of a PS5 on fire and then say my impressions of this dog-ish piece of crap console, but then in the video it's nothing like that at all. Like I want to see how many comments are.
Your thumbnail has a picture of the PS5 on fire on the desk. It says my honest review of my PlayStation 5, it caught on fire. And then you have nothing to say about your PS5 catching on fire in the video. You just got a piece of like a burnt PS5 on the thumbnail caught on fire, smoking like it was a rib.
Now I would estimate roughly half of the people who would comment on that video would be like, "You're a piece of ish, Xbot, I hate you, yada yada yada," right? And the other half would be like, "Hey, you're a great video, but what was up with the thumbnail?" Like, I guarantee you there'll be people who are just like, "I'm not even watching the video. I just saw the thumbnail. I already know what you're talking about. I hate you. I hate your mama. I hope you die. Yada yada yada. You know, go kill yourself."
Yeah, right. Adam Boy says, the next gen updates on console, you gotta reinstall that Destiny 2. Yo, well, he doesn't have. See, this is the thing. Slomo doesn't have Destiny on. Well, he has it everywhere because he has Game Pass, but he doesn't have the new Xbox yet. He does have PlayStation, so he could play it over there because there is a free to play version. Slomo, I do think you should download Destiny on your PS4 or your PS5.
Of course you do.
I'm serious because I will really like to know what your thoughts on the differences between console and PC will be, because that is going to be something you can actually see because you do have it on PC and you can download it on PlayStation through the free update, and you will get the benefits of those higher frame rates and faster load times and stuff on your PlayStation. So I definitely would like to see what your opinions on that is. I'm not saying that you have to keep it on there, because who wants to keep 60 gigs of a game that's trash, like you say, on their hard drive? I get you on that.
I only call it trash to rile you guys up. You guys know the game ain't trash. It ain't as great as y'all think it is, but it's not trash. It's not a trash game. But I'm just done with Destiny. Every time, like the last times I played it, I'm trying to do PvE content, and I don't have a clue what to do here.
Yeah,
excuse me, and I don't feel like really finding out. I could clearly go watch some content creators
Shout out to Gregor Von Dude. Spelling any topic right in the title on Forte's channel is clickbait.
I mean, you didn't get anything wrong this time.
I actually went to go look at the title and I was like, did I spell something wrong? Oh, he just being messy right now. I don't want to
super chat. Oh, right.
I don't want to pronounce this wrong. Go ahead,
Sukasa.
Oh, it's Sukasa. Okay, Sukasa with the $5 super chat. Appreciate that, bro. I enjoy Slow-Mo's channel. It's fire. To each his own. Just keep up the great content. Don't succumb to being a clickbait doggy for views.
One, Sukasa, I really appreciate the kind words there. I will keep up the great content. And two, you ain't got nothing to worry about. I there's no way. I'm joking around about like having a clickbait title and then not having the content be anywhere. I'm not doing that.
Wait. And, I have another thing. Sukasa says he he enjoys Slow-Mo's channel. Slow-Mo's channel. He said Slow-Mo's channel was fire. He ain't say I enjoy your guys's and I enjoy you and Slow-Mo's channel. They're both fire. What's going on here? What Slow-Mo? Is there something that you feeding these people over there on your channel that I need to know about?
What? No.
Are you over there feeding like is there like some type of serum that you're giving people on your channel to like
a serum?
Yeah.
How?
I don't know.
Through video.
I don't know, man. They click on your thumbnails and they instantly they get like some type of euphoria or something. Is something going on over there that I need to know about?
I mean, maybe you should watch my videos every now and then.
I watch your videos all the time.
I'm just joking.
I watch them all the time.
No, I mean, just because he says that, oh, Sukasa is like Slow-Mo was the one that sold to get it together. Lorte. Yeah, I think that L was on purpose. No, look.
Oh, he definitely getting on me now. Did you see this? You see this?
Don't take it, bro. He just messing around with you, man. Don't take it.
I know he is. I'm just messing around. Shout out to Sertaz. He says PS5 thumbnail and do a Series X review. Say this is my review of the PS5, but then out pops a brick that they call a Xbox. That would actually be a really good one. I don't know, man. That's really cool. But I truly, first of all, we really appreciate all the love and support you guys give. It's really cool. And I think that a lot of other content creators can really learn from the things that you guys have to tell them and stuff. It really just comes down to making sure that you are just as honest as ever. Man, y'all seem awfully off topic. We haven't been on topic for the last 10-15 minutes, Luca. This is called a Q&A at the end of the show. We're talking.
I know, like she would know that if she was here the whole time.
She wasn't here. Luca, Luca, you know what? Before Mama Luca, what are you doing? You want to come in here for a second so you can rap with us for a quick second with the people? We'll send you an invite if you want to come in here. I guess we can give it another 5 or 10 minutes if you want to come spit your bars real quick and tell us how bad we are. I'll wait for that response. Matter of fact, I ain't even gonna wait for the response. I'm just gonna give you the link.
She said she was making the video. That's all right. Luca out here, doing that content creator grind.
What video is she out here making? She already made the video today. I ain't know Luca made 2 videos in one day. What you think her new video going to be about, Slow-Mo?
Something Dark Souls.
She did a stream. Did you know that she did a stream today? I didn't even realize she did a
Well, she already did. That means that she already did two pieces of content. That she got a uploaded video and a stream. That's all right.
Yeah, she got the video. It was a 2-hour one too. I was like, Oh, yeah. See, look, they on Jim Ryan. Oh, she made the video on Jim Ryan. Oh, it must have been about how Jim Ryan don't know how to keep his mouth shut, and he always talking about the things that PlayStation ain't gonna do, but they doing them anyways. Adam Boy says sis about to pull up. Yeah, Luca baby. Taz, he's talking about doing a raid live stream. Oh, yo, you started something real crazy about this live stream, bro.
I didn't start this.
No,
all I said was
they looking for this raid.
I
live
didn't
stream,
completely dismiss it, and now
usually when you don't dismiss something very heavily, people kind of say Slomo must be down to do it.
It's just taking on a life of its own.
I mean, just like Bucksnax and you getting a platinum trophy.
Yeah, that's not happening.
2000.
I have agreed to live stream it once I hit a certain number of subs, but all that, nah.
2,000 subs, baby. So Soma, what do you? We'll wrap this show up just in case Luca doesn't come in here. Soma, what do you got going on your channel over the next couple of weeks or next week in general? Because next week is pretty far away. What you got going on?
Yeah, I'm just getting caught up on content. And real quick, I apologize for going so long without dropping another video. I've been busy with work, but I also have been trying to get my PlayStation 5 content looking somewhat decent to actually put on my channel. It's and I was talking to Luca about this. Can I finish what I'm saying though?
No, this topic was relevant, for when I first came through and Nautical brought me up, but then you were like, let's get back on topic, guys. And I'm just like, okay, well, I'll just leave then if you don't want me here.
Here we go. Here we go with the guilt trip.
It's like an emotional guilt trip right now.
Exactly. But no, it's been difficult trying to. There's something going on with the encoder of the PlayStation 5. If the content that you recorded on the game is in 4K, or even if it's in 4K, it's using a weird format, WebM. And it's just it's been difficult, but I think I got my head around it for now until they start making some improvements, some firmware updates to fix some of this stuff. But let's see here. I got a video tomorrow coming out, my PlayStation 5 impressions. I'm gonna have a video talking about this whole BioWare situation, pretty much a lot of stuff that we talked about already, but a couple of more thoughts on my part, as well as my review of Immortals Phoenix Rising. So that's all coming out within the next week.
Next week, okay, cool. Gregor Von Dune says Luca is on Forte's cell phone right now. Wow.
Yeah, I've been having issues with my audio, man.
Yeah. So
are you on your cell phone right now?
No.
No,
so this is your mic, like your podcasting mic.
She sounds good, so don't try to corner her right now.
No, it's not cornering.
I'm asking a question. Yeah, I just asked the question. She said she was having issues with her mic.
No, I heard her when she was talking about it the other day, where she's talking about her mic.
No, I sound fine.
Yeah, you sound good right now.
Yeah. No, like I had issues earlier today when I did my live stream. Or not today. Yeah, I had issues earlier today, and then yesterday, when I posted another live stream, I had issues with that. People were like, "You sound like you hit puberty."
Oh man! Oh man! So what was the fix?
I had to unplug my mic and plug it back in.
Oh, the old-fashioned reset.
Yeah, but I have an extra Audio Technica AT2020 lying around here. So it's not even a problem.
Oh, first world problems.
So you have two Audio Technicas?
Yeah.
I know we both got the same mic. I've never had an issue with this mic in the 3 years I've had it. It's been pretty awesome. But
my issue was that the reason I bought an extra one because I remember I was on the phone with Fonz when this was happening too. And all I had to do was turn the mic around. I didn't realize it. Fonz didn't realize it. And
you were talking into the back of the mic?
Yeah. And then I bought a new one. And then we realized what the issue was. And I was just like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. That's the first thing people tell you. It's like, yo, why I sound so muffled? Are you talking into the back of the microphone?
I just don't know what happened, man.
I don't know. So, Mama Luca, first of all, I missed you.
Oh, I missed you too.
can't wait till December 8th, even knowing you're not coming back until probably December.
Hey, I was talking to Taz earlier. He was all like, "Yeah, Iron Banner's next week." I'm like, "Oh,
She definitely ain't gonna be here for that because she ain't got no light level.
light level is non-existent." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Oh man, you ain't missing nothing right now. It's kind of crazy out here anyway. But
There's a lot of content. Taz told me. So.
no, I mean, dude, it's a lot of stuff that like I don't have any of the aspects, none of the.
So am I not missing something, or am I missing something? What's good?
You're not okay. You're missing stuff, but
okay.
It's not something that you have to be here for, right? You can like the fact that I don't have any of those aspects or any of the fragments yet. We're pretty much on the same playing ground when it comes to that. I just have a higher light level, so
okay.
You'll be fine when you come back. You'll enjoy it when you finally do. Get this out of your system. Get all that other crap out because guess what? You sooner or later you're going to run out of stuff to play, and you'll be back at Destiny. I don't know. Maybe you won't because it seems like you found a way to get out, like Slomo did.
We'll see. We'll have to see
until you get bored, huh?
Yeah.
And that's the key right there. You haven't had a Crucible fix. You haven't really been playing any type of because Demon Souls has pretty much been your multiplayer fix right now, right?
Yeah, I'm a little bit scared about going into that. I'm about to get my ass kicked. I don't know, man.
Why everybody's starting to get what you talking about? People's catching up to your level and stuff, so it's not like going in one-shotting people as much anymore.
Well, for Destiny, I mean, it's going to be.
Destiny is going to be bad.
My eyes are bleeding already at the thought. So,
well, I wouldn't come. Well, at this point, Luca, I would not. If I was you, I wouldn't come back until after December 8th.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. If I was you, because you have you even played at all? I think that you played a little bit like last week.
Yeah, I hopped in there for some reason. I can't remember why. I was in there last like a week ago.
I mean, as long as you jump in there with us, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm about to. I'm waiting for them to release the season pass, so I can just pay that $100 to get everything on there.
$100. Let's go.
Without playing any of the content. But yeah, I see Gregor playing Destiny 2.
I saw it too on PlayStation. Yeah, I was going to jump in with him the other day, but then I realized that's like I ain't trying to look bad on Destiny PvP on PlayStation because I don't know this controller right now.
Yeah, the controller is a little I don't know.
Weird.
I'll have to try it out before I go in there.
Exactly. I don't want to challenge anybody and be like, "Yo, this controller's trash." But
nice thumbnail, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I went for the cleaner look on the. Actually, if you notice the last video I did, I changed the thumbnail. I went with the more cleaner look. I just wanted to be just a picture and whatever else instead of the side by side comparison like I was doing before. Thank you for noticing. But no. So Luca, is there anything that you want to add to anything that we talked about or any?
Yeah. RIP Dragon Age. At least I got 3 really good games. I'm just going to have to hold it close to my heart and enjoy it.
3.5 Awakenings.
Oh, yes. Awakenings. I do recall.
Yep.
RIP to Mass Effect. At least I got 3 really good games.
Just leave it at 3.
Just leave it at 3.
You're just going to leave it at 3.
The fourth is not about here.
At least I got 3 really good games. And, I actually had someone in my comment section of my video, Phil Collins, he was like, well, maybe the games will be good, Luca. I mean, maybe it'll be all right.
Outside
okay.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, we'll see. I'm not counting on it, but whatever, right? So, and what else did you guys discuss? Let me see here. And then Cyberpunk. Dear God, I wish I had bought that worthless collector's edition so I could be playing the game early.
Yeah, right. You bought it because you would have got it from Best Buy.
How much is that collector's edition?
$250.
Yeah, dang. Well, I guess value is all in the eye of the beholder. So if you feel playing it early even though people who bought it didn't expect to be able to play it early, but if you figured, hey, if I can get it played early by spending $250, I guess some people would have went forward and did it. Me, I'm like, nah, man. I'll wait to launch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's too rich for my blood. Hey, yo, so is that the collector's edition?
It's the statue for the collector's edition.
Oh,
It's
okay.
got a bunch of stuff in it, so
Yeah, I didn't get the. Yeah, they sent us the statue a year ago. Yeah,
look at
a year
this
ago.
bought off. That's what I like to hear and see. Wish
Yep.
I was bought off. Anyway, so
Hey, they said, hey, listen, I will. I always tell.
Where's your Cyberpunk share, man? I don't see the share.
No, listen. The one thing I've been telling people say, man, I can't trust your opinion on the guy. I say, listen, I am one of the few people that sell all of their products, so I can actually not have to worry about that because I have to sell them. So they have to give me stuff to make me excited to want to sell their stuff. So it is.
Yeah. So they're super lucky, man. Good for them. Let's see here. Can the PlayStation 5 Pro have 2 GPUs? Yeah, I'm not even going to touch that. I don't talk about rumors like that have that are unsubstantiated claims, man. So I'll just leave that alone.
So okay, I'll ask you the bonus question that I asked Slomo. The vaccine, it's supposedly in emergency form. It could be released as early as December 10th. Are you would you take it?
No.
You wouldn't not
I don't believe in taking early versions of medication. So
got you. Okay. Well, that
I'm not sick yet.
Well, that's what Slomo had a really good come up with that where he's talking about like his wife works in healthcare, so he said he's going to see it firsthand because she'll be the first one to take it, and he going to see what the repercussions of this really going to be.
Yeah, no, I don't. It's going to be the start of a zombie outbreak before you know it. The T virus is about to get released.
Exactly.
It was all made in the lab, man. I'm telling you.
Exactly.
The T virus, not COVID. Okay, I'm just putting it out there. So
no. So when's your video coming out tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow at 11:45 a.m.
So make sure you check out that. 11:40. Look at her. You know what? You're smart. Did you look at YouTube videos that tell you that 45 and 15 are the best times to drop your video because everybody drops theirs on even numbers or like half hours? Is that why you drop it at 45?
I did not know that, but that's a good tip. Thank you.
It is a good, because that's why I started dropping mines at like 15. And I'd never drop them at the half hour or the full hour because that's where most people drop their videos.
Yeah, you know what I started doing? Let me tell you what I actually started. There's a little thing in your YouTube studio where you can look at your under the audience area, and you can look at the times where your audience is on YouTube looking at things the most.
Yeah.
And so now I just started choosing, so it could be like on a Wednesday at like 11. Cool.
Yeah.
That's when my audience is watching YouTube the most. They're more likely to watch my video then instead of just choosing.
Oh, I don't use that because my audience doesn't watch my videos. Okay. Maybe 10% of my audience watches my video.
Oh, but 10% is all you're supposed to, be looking forward to, Luca.
Okay, I didn't know that. So
I watched a bunch of different people's even YouTube. We talked about this during me and B and Shlomo talked about this last night. YouTube in their own blog posts because it's like a lot of people have a problem when they see their videos not doing well and they kind of want to get discouraged from making videos. And they said inherently most of your videos are going to overperform the 10% delta. They say 10% should be the number you should absolutely not really stress over because most of your videos are going to hit over that. But the absolute lowest you'll see your videos hit is at least 10% of your subscriber base. So for you, Luca, you got what, 3,200 subs or something? Or is it 3,500 now?
32.
So 3,200 subs. So your videos at the absolute lowest should do 320 subs within the first 3 to 4 days of it being up. So if you're hitting that on average, then you're winning. But they say most of your videos are going to always hit above that. So you'll hit that 500, 600, 700 views most of the time, but don't stress if your videos go below that.
I'm not stressing. I'm just being,
I know you're not. You're
honest. I'm just like, my people don't watch my stuff and I understand it's okay. Only some people support me. Only some people.
Hey, you know what, Luca? Everybody in this chat supports you. Everybody here, all these people here support you because guess what? You're queen, and that's all that. And that's all that matters to us. All right, guys. So this has been DPS Podcast episode 13. gave you a little bit more time. Really appreciate you guys all coming through. We're going to be live next week on the Homeboy SlomoBackSlap channel for episode 14.
And about that, real quick,
go ahead.
Next Thursday is the Video Game Awards. I'm still trying to figure out because I thought I saw it starts at 7, but I'm not 100% certain. But I'll be tweeting out when the actual once I know when is not the pregame. The pre-show where they're just like sitting around staring at each other with microphones, talking about nothing and showing nothing. Once we get that out the way, that's when we'll start it. So if it's 8 o'clock, 8:30, 9, whatever, 7:30, whenever the actual show starts is when we will do the show. So essentially, instead of just the typical DPS podcast, we'll be actually doing live reaction to the show and whatever reveals they do, and of course the Game of the Year winners and stuff like that.
Yep. Shout out to Animal Crossing winning Game of the Year. Blade X says it's
good.
He says 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Okay.
He said 8 o'clock. So Slomo, where can everybody find you? I know you went over the stuff going on in your channel before Luca got in here, but break down everything for these people that can find you and subscribe to your beautiful channel. You
can find me on Twitter with the same name, SlomoBackSlap, and YouTube as well, SlomoBackSlap. Sub to my channel. I appreciate it. And you guys have a great night, man.
Yep. 1,000 subscribers. Get that in y'all heads, guys. We need that Buck Snack scream. Mrs. the beautiful Ashley Luca, the one that we all call
Mrs. She's married?
Well, no. Okay, well, maybe. Whatever. I don't know. She's married to her, her PlayStation right now in Demon Souls. So she can't get off of it. But tell everybody where they can find you at, Luca. They probably already know, but that's just the par for the course for being a podcaster, I guess.
You can find me on Twitter at the Ash and Luca or YouTube at the Ash and Luca. Thanks so much for having me.
No, absolutely. Let me ask you a question though. When you were doing I got a hint of it seemed like you were about to cry at a point when you were doing your BioWare video. Like I literally felt your pain as you I was listening to this. Like I'm listening to her talk, and I'm like, is Luca about to cry? Why is she about to cry?
I do remember that when I was listening to it back, I was like, huh.
Okay, so I wasn't losing my mind when I felt that energy. I was like, no, Luca sounded like she about to cry when she was telling me, like, I can't believe this hurts. I was like, okay, so I'm not alone. Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure that my ears was not deceiving me. But
shout out to you. They can't stop me. I appreciate you, man.
Absolutely. Please, guys, Scumcast is going to be lit this weekend. They're going to be talking about a lot of stuff for the Game Awards. Hopefully, I can stop by and get some information and stuff on that too. But if I'm not there, you already know they're going to hold it down because that's the fam, and they know how to treat everybody that comes through there. So shout out to them. Oh, Luca, are you going to come through with us and do this stream, or are you going to hide into another party and not hang with us?
No, I'll just watch it by myself.
Oh Lord. Well, we'll be in a party with you after we're done, so don't worry about that. And it's Gaming Forte everywhere, YouTube, Twitter. You already know, you're already on the channel. So tomorrow got a video coming out about Jim Ryan too. So Luca already beat me to finishing that video up. Also talking about some other things that's coming out. So your boy on that daily grind, got to make up for the last month and a half that I didn't make a lot of videos. So shout out to you guys for supporting the channel throughout the course of the last month and a half while nothing was really going on. And I hope you guys enjoy all the content. But like I said, this is episode 13. We will see you guys next week for the Game Awards for episode 14 on Mr. SlomoBackSlap's channel. Shout out to Ash and Luca for coming through for the brief appearance. Always love having you through. And we will see you guys in the next show. Have a good weekend, guys. Peace.
Bye.
Peace out.